Howdy y'all, Fast Force 289. So, tonight I just kind of want to talk about something I've done. I put a T5 transmission into my car. I was going to record the entire thing. I was having some problems with my camera, storage space and everything. It was a headache. I wanted to record the entire thing about me removing the old automatic and putting in the new, C4, no, the new T5. So unfortunately, I weren't able to record it. So I'll just talk a little bit about it, and I'll show you the stuff that I done. I did upload a video of adding the clutch pedal, putting new bushings in, and how I added a hydraulic clutch to it. And that's what I did. I put a T5 in this car, ordered a kit. I actually ordered a kit for a 1968 Ford Mustang off CJ Pony Parts, and the reason for that is I thought it'd be easier. So the kit come with everything I need. The only thing I didn't use out of the kit was the cross member, because they're different. You got to change it for a Mustang. I used the original cross member in this car. And the drive shaft, I couldn't use the new drive shaft because it was too short for this car. And also it came with that kit came with a cable clutch. I installed a hydraulic clutch. Other than that, I used everything else. So, and the kit cost me, because it was on sale when I bought it, I actually ended up spending the same for that kit as I would have if I had just bought everything individually. Because I went to Modern Driveline and priced everything, and it would have cost me around the same price whether I bought everything individually from Modern Driveline, which is where CJ Pony Parts gets their parts from, is Modern Driveline. So it's the same parts anyway. But it would have cost me about the same whether I ordered it individually from them or just ordered a kit from CJ. I'll say, well, I ordered a kit, then I got everything. I don't have to worry about it, right? There was some problems with like back orders, like for instance the bell housing. It took me a month to get everything because it was just problems. Like I still haven't even gotten the shifter yet. That's supposed to come in that kit, but it don't matter. I didn't really want to use that shifter anyway, but I want it in case I ever decide to use it later. But I ain't even got it yet. I got a Hurst shifter in here, which is what I prefer to have. But that, for instance, or the shifter ball for that original shifter. Also the bell housing, it was on back order. They kept sending me notifications. Oh, well, it's not going to ship this day. It'll ship this day. And then it got pushed back like 3 or 4 times. Finally, after the 3rd or 4th time, I said, all right, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I called Modern Driveline and asked them if they had any in stock, and they said yes. So I just canceled the bell housing from CJ. Just didn't even worry about it, and I ordered it from Modern Driveline. So I did that. But I also got the hydraulic clutch from Modern Driveline, and it's a Willwood master cylinder, but it's their bracketry and setup and all, whatever, however it works. So yeah, but I'm very happy with it. I'm very pleased with this transmission. It's something I was looking forward to ever since I bought the car. It's very hard to, like when I bought this car, I looked for a manual, and these cars are hard to find anyway as it is, especially in a fastback, and nearly impossible to find as a manual. Like they're not out there. The ones that were manuals, people convert to automatics, and this is a hard car to find anyway. And like I said, finding one a manual, very hard to do. So this is something I looked forward to since I bought the car. I wanted a manual. I finally got it. I'm very pleased with it, very happy. It's very fun to drive, a lot more enjoyable to drive. And I couldn't be more happier. The hydraulic clutch was easy to install, except for crawling up underneath the dash. You know, that's never easy, but it was easy install. Bleeding it was a little bit of a struggle at first because this is my very first manual I've ever done. I've driven them obviously, but I've never worked on one. I've never done a clutch. I've never done a manual transmission conversion or nothing like that. This is my very first one, and it turned out great. So it was no problem. I had to cut the floor out a little bit bigger for the shifter too, which I kind of figured that would have had to happen anyway. But I did. I had to cut the floor out bigger, but no big deal. Oh, the clutch, like I was saying, bleeding it. I thought you bleed a clutch like brakes, but you don't. If you've ever done one, you know that's not true. It just wasn't working. And I messed with it for like an hour and a half trying to bleed it. Could not get it. I called Modern Driveline, and they told me some tips to try. But one thing is they send you a bleeder kit. And all it is a syringe, a rubber grommet to fit over your reservoir, and a rubber hose. And basically, all you need to do, and this probably applies to all hydraulic clutches, but Modern Driveline, they said disconnect the clutch pedal, pull the piston on the master cylinder all the way back, because if it's forward at all, even 1/8 of an inch, it will create an air bubble, an air pocket, and it will not bleed, no matter what you do. So I disconnected the clutch pedal, pulled the piston all the way back. I hooked the rubber hose to the bleeder valve on the slave cylinder underneath the car on the transmission, and you want to put a loop in it So then the air will get trapped in the top of the loop, but fluid will stay down where the bleeder screw is, so then you don't suck air back in after you pump the fluid through. But basically, you want to put that hose on there with a loop in it, and you want to crack the bleeder valve open. You want to put that rubber grommet over the reservoir, fill the syringe with brake fluid, make sure there's no air bubbles in there, tap the air bubbles out, and push the air out. Put the syringe in that grommet and push it as hard as or as fast as you can within 3 seconds, they said, for the fluid to be flushed through the system, and then it will be bled completely. And it did work. Very surprising. It took like 10 minutes, and that's everything. Getting underneath the car, hooking the hose up, putting the loop in it, probably not even 10 minutes. But that's unhooking the clutch pedal, everything. It took me between 5 and 10 minutes to do it. It was great. And I had a good pedal. After that, tighten the bleeder screw back down, fill your reservoir up, and put the bladder in and put the cap on it. And I had a pedal. It was nice. So I'm glad I called them, and I'm glad I looked up videos also to try to see how to do it. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. It's like I said, it's a very nice mod that I'm happy to have done. I just hate I weren't able to record it fully because, like I said, it was just problems. I started to record and then the camera was shut off, and it was just a problem. But I think I got it straightened out now. We should be good to go. It's unfortunate that I couldn't. This was a big project. I really wanted to show this. So instead, what I'm gonna do is just show clips of like how, like I'll upload videos on like how to install like the hydraulic clutch onto the bell housing of a T5 and how to fill the T5, stuff like that. Like I said, I hate that I couldn't show the whole process of installing it, but really it's not bad. It's not bad at all. If you want to do this to your car, you can do it to anything. And they got kits available for pretty much anything, except for this car. They didn't have a kit available for this car. That's why I ordered it for Mustang. But it's the same. It's all the same kind of concept. It bolts right up, Like I said, I only used 3 things. I only did not use 3 things out of the kit. Everything else I used. So, now another thing is I thought was kind of strange. They didn't send you bolts for everything. Like they didn't send me the bolts to bolt the transmission to the bell housing for some reason. I don't know why. They didn't send me the bolts for the transmission mount. You'd figure in a kit they'd send you everything, but they didn't. But it's no big deal. I went to ARP and I got some ARP bell housing bolts, some ARP transmission to bell housing bolts. I went to Home Depot and got some bolts for the cross member and motor or transmission mount. So everything's new. I got everything brand new. I even bought new starter bolts. Bought a new starter. And that's something else, by the way, you can use, if you went from a C4 and automatic to this, you can still use your automatic starter. I'm probably going to, sometime in the future, now this starter's fine, but I think maybe sometime in the future I'll upgrade to like a Power Master starter, one of those higher torque starters in the future, maybe, perhaps. But it's not really necessary. You don't have to do that. It's just something I thought about. But yeah, I'm very pleased with it, though. If y'all want to install a T5 into your car, no matter what it be, a Mustang, Fairlane, Torino, even a truck. I mean, they got it for pretty much anything, and you can make it work. So, I don't know what it would take to put it in a truck exactly. I would assume that you'd probably use the original cross member in that as well. But either way, regardless, very cool. Like I said, I'm super happy that I went through with this install. It's very cool, very cool. The drive shaft, I used my original drive shaft, and they did give me the proper yoke because, and I don't know for a fact, but I believe if you have a C4 in your car, you don't need to change the yoke or drive shaft. You can just use it just like it is, just put it right back in. Because a T5 is a 28 spline, a C4 is a 28 spline. Well, this car had an FMX, which it did not come originally with the FMX. Somebody put it in there, but an FMX has a 31 spline output shaft, which means it has a 31 spline yoke. So someone changed the yoke. I don't know if that was the original drive shaft to come in this car or not. Probably, maybe. I don't know though. But they probably just changed the yoke and used the original drive shaft, maybe. But I was able to reuse my original drive shaft, just put the 28 spline yoke on it that come with the kit. The only thing is, it is a little bit closer than I would like for it to be. But it's fine. I might get a custom drive shaft made in the future just to give me that little bit extra wiggle room. But the good thing is, like this car, with the way the drive shaft is, it's almost straight anyway. Because the transmission here, the drive shaft has a slight angle, but it's pretty well straight. And even with the transmission to the rear end, so it more or less just pivots. There's not a whole lot of in and out motion of the yoke. it's pretty well straight up and down. Like this, the drive shaft more or less just pivots. So there's not a whole lot of in and out play, maybe a 1/4 of an inch at the most. Because you can look underneath the car and see where the seal rides, and you can see how far it moves. So about a 1/4 of an inch is really all it moves. And I still have probably 3/8 of an inch after that, after the 1/4 inch movement. So yeah, I'm pretty good to go there. Not a big deal. It works fine, you know. I'm not auto crossing this car or anything, or going over really heavy bumps. You'd have to bottom the suspension down for it to really interfere with it. But yeah, so it's a very good install and not too hard of an install. There's a lot to it really as far as like parts and all, but it's not hard, you know. One thing is make sure you got the clutch aligned properly, because if not, you can have a hard time getting the transmission in, which I kind of did. The alignment tools ain't the greatest, they're plastic. You're better off with the actual real input shaft out of a transmission, but I didn't have one. So when you use the plastic alignment tool, make sure it's up there flat. Your clutch plate is up there flat when you install the pressure plate, because otherwise the transmission won't go in. And that's what happened to me. I put it in, it would not go like the last 1/4 of an inch. I fought it a little bit. I took a break, I come back to it, and I thought about it. I got the transmission put up there, put a couple bolts in it, and then took the pry bar and actuated the clutch a couple of times, and that releases the clutch plate to move, and then the transmission slid right up into place, no problem. And then it was there, it was good to go. So keep that in mind. So if you're running that problem where the transmission just acts like it don't want to go that last little bit, work that clutch lever a couple of times. It'll, you know, with the transmission up there, work the clutch lever a couple of times and keep pushing on the transmission, it'll slide right in. So yeah, I'm very happy with it, very pleased. I'm happy I finally got to do this install. Very exciting for me. So yeah, if y'all like this video, give it a thumbs up. Like I said, I'm gonna post some videos of like how to install the hydraulic bracket and stuff like that for on the bell housing for a T5, and how to fill the T5, stuff like that. I hate that I couldn't record it for y'all, but like I said, it is what it is. I got other videos in the future that I'll be uploading that y'all can watch. There's a lot of T5 installation videos out there. I want to do it on this because there's really none on this car, on these cars. And I want to do one on this car, but you know, I figure if I talk about it, then it'll kind of give people an idea of what you can do with these cars. And the T5 is an easy swap. Pretty much any Ford, pretty much. They got them for everything. You can put them in Chevrolets, no problem. But they got them for pretty much everything you can think of. So it's really easy. But yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to upload them videos of the different things that I've done. And like I said, there's plenty of T5 installation videos. So if you want to know that, you can watch somebody else's videos. They might be better at explaining it than I am anyway, because they may have done it before. This is my first one. So, but regardless, I thank y'all for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And as always, thank y'all for continuing to watch. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Help my channel out. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Leave a comment down below. Leave a comment down below if you like this video and if you're looking forward to more. And as always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.